Really proud of our team. That's a talented, well-coached team over there. I think Raheem does a really great job, and one of those people that I've been fortunate enough to work with. I have so much respect for him and talented team for sure. But I just felt like, winning the turnover battle was huge for us, and then being able to, really put together a complete half on offense that included pretty high level things in the passing game, and then to have that 98-yard drive in a mode like that to go score. I think we grew up a lot today, offensively, and I think Sam Darnold, Justin, J.A. was pretty spectacular to just watch them. And it all comes back to little things, execution, and the details at which they came to the game game with today. I think we're still improving as a team, and there's going to be a lot of things we've got to get cleaned up, and we got an extra day here before a Monday night home game in the division, which will be very, very important for us. Don't have a lot of real injury updates, really nothing of concern at this point. We did hold Pat Jones out, just couldn't quite get there, but he was kind of the only one in the questionable group. But it was good to see Gabe Murphy get some action, as well as just we're able to get some guys in there at the end to get some valuable work as well. But a lot of really good stuff. Didn't know some of the 20 years or so since it's been a five performance by a quarterback. J.A. and Justin, believe it, I was shocked to hear that we haven't had two 100-yard receivers with 2 touchdowns each in our history. I'm thinking back, we've had some of the some great combinations in our league's history that have worn this uniform. So pretty spectacular by those 2 guys, and it's what I believe we're capable of, as an offense. And Sam Darnold just continues to play at a massively high level that is really fun to watch.
Kevin, what was most impressive to you about what you saw from Sam today?
I think, Justin's second touchdown, they had obviously seen something on tape to try to generate a free runner, and his ability to, navigate a very uneasy pocket, to say the least, and get up and out and still keep his eyes up and find Justin, who really, is on a route there that can declare a lot of different ways. So finding him, even though, he was by himself back there, was, quite a task considering the movement he just had to make. I think he was fantastic in the red zone, decisive, to Justin on his first touchdown. I thought the last J.A. touchdown, really the last 2 were just pretty elite fundamentals and techniques, reads, progressions, not forcing anything, but just kind of big field vision and putting the ball exactly where it needs to go, and just seems so incredibly calm, total ownership, command. And then, like I said, I was really proud of the guys up front, and J.O. and Johnny and C.J. coming in. We got kind of big on that drive and went 98 yards, which is hard to do, when a team knows you're trying to work the clock, and that was, one of the more, special drives I think we've had here, because considering, how we did it and the type of execution we had throughout there.
Kevin, the throw he makes on the second touchdown to Justin, just in terms of making that throw on the run, flinging it downfield like he did, how many quarterbacks can make that throw, or how difficult is that?
Yeah, not very many, and that's exactly what I told him when he walked off the field. I was a little bit more detailed with Sam, but I'm not going to tell you what I told him in regards to my opinion on how many guys make that throw.
Did this team take the next step because you were able to put a team away like this? I mean, you had a lot of close games up until now.
Yeah, I think the number one stat that I look at is the turnover margin. We generated a turnover in the kicking game, and we had 2 interceptions, that all of which, we were able to kind of at least, we didn't turn them all directly into points, but we were at least able to, sustain some successful plays and move the ball, win field position, and then we were able to turn some of those second half turnovers into points. But I just think when you don't do things to lose the game or make it easier on your opponent, whether it's things that I need to be better at, always starts with me, or it's the execution level, or it's us having some turnovers that allow teams to have some greater chances of maybe getting into the game and keeping it close till the end. We sure are comfortable in those moments, but I was proud of the way, like, it just felt like it was one of those days where we needed to keep the gas pedal down, and I think it's the first time getting over 40 since I've been here, and it really, 53 plays. We didn't really have a ton of plays, but we did get a lot of long yardage on a penalty on one pass interference, and then obviously getting a short field there off the C.J. Ham recovery of B.A. Brian just continues to show up on special teams and really thriving in that role, which is making our football team a really good team, because we've got a lot of guys in that kicking game phase that can affect the game in a really positive way like he did, and just proud of him.
In these last 4 games for Sam, like if you had to put your finger on what's flipped for him, if you agree that he's flipped.
Well, I think there can be incredible growth in moments where maybe on the outside it seemed leaving Jacksonville like, there's something really wrong. They didn't score a touchdown. I think that's why I was so excited that day to win the game and have such a teachable moment where, in a lot of ways, Sam's going back in Monday morning based upon a lot of things that Josh and Grant and myself talked to him about, almost self-coaching in a lot of ways. Well, if I just, have better feet there, or I should, where were I don't know why my eyes were there. And what it was is, in my opinion, was an incredible growth moment for him to then just come right back the next week and start stacking some things that are kind of leading into a layered kind of success type approach, which is what happens to a lot of quarterbacks in this league, especially the ones that their trajectory is over the course of a season, or their careers is pointing sky high. They're able to stack days, and this day will be something that he can build off of. I truly do believe that in our offense, and there was a lot of things that we'll be able to really highlight of who we want to be about as a football team that are going to show up on this tape.
The game, I'm not sure if you can see on the jumbotron, they have Sam's up there doing the towel and all that.
Yeah,
it's very fired up for him.
Yeah, I just
hit you.
You guys know I'm good for a little emotional moment every now and again, but I'm just proud of him. I mean, days like this are so many hours upon hours of hard work and committing to being a Minnesota Viking, and making sure that everything I do, every waking moment I have, is built on earning the trust of my teammates, performing at a high level, and then stacking, successful practices, days, meetings, games on one another. And then when you have a result like this, everyone's going to talk about the result, and I hope they do. But for me and Sam and our team, there's not very many guys in that locker room that are surprised about the performance he had today.
You mentioned you felt like the offense grew up a lot today. What do you see as evidence of that? What kind of sticks out to you in that regard?
Yeah, I think the 98-yard drive is a critical thing that's hard to do, especially when the momentum of you think you're going to be starting at the 20, and then you're starting at the 2, and you're able to stack together, which I thought that drive was a lot longer, but with the J.O. catch, where we had a few guys available to us on that one, it was only 7 plays, and to put the ball over the goal line right there, and because you just never know. You go 3 and out down there, you give them a short field. Kirk, and as explosive as they were today, they were going to find a way to make it a game. So I just thought it was a critical drive. I think some of the off-schedule plays mixed with some really pretty pure execution details, motion landmarks, guys being exactly where they're supposed to be, Sam's feet being 100% locked and loaded, throwing the ball on time when he could, and when he had guys available, seeing the field, seeing coverage, some unique coverage structures that we've seen throughout the year showed up again. And I just think it's a lot of things, Ben, that kind of come together. And then the execution of our players. This is 100% the players, continue to strive for a total complete win. And I think our defense gave up some yards, but forcing the 2 turnovers on a day where our offense is able to, have 7.7 yards of play, we're going to eventually find our way into the red zone. I thought 3rd down was huge. I don't know what we were. I think 8 of 12, and then 4 of 4 in the red zone via, Sam and our skill players making some plays.
Holding on the field goal, was that something that you guys had seen at all before the game and kind of had an eye on, that something they do? I mean, it's just not a call you see very much.
No, yeah, I can't say that I had. I'll definitely talk to Matt Daniels. Normally on things like that, I know about some pretty clear-cut things that we want to chat with the officials about before the game, but that didn't seem to be something that was on our radar. I was glad we were able to, because you take the points off the board and then get the touchdown. It's a big momentum that could go either way in the moment.
Sorry, there were a few plays where they had defensive backs turning the wrong way or completely removed from where the ball ended up.
Yeah.
Is that scheme? Is that great moves? How does that happen?
Well, I think, there was a few plays where, how they handled motions kind of gave us some information that we were able to maybe make some adjustments on some things to try to stress, if that was indeed the case, how some things would play out. And, it did on, there was a, Justin, catches the touchdown, his first one, where he's, ends up matched up on the nickel with that motion, and then kind of anticipating a little bit of maybe, okay, we got to make sure we don't allow that again. Now they keep, 24 locked on them there, and opens up some pretty good leverage for Jordan. So a lot of those things, that's, if you guys got the time, we can go through all that nerdy stuff, and it'd be, you've got the time. but all that, honestly, Jim, is, it's one of those things where players got to be able to execute it. Sam's got to be able to see it and throw it, and that's why I just give 100% to our guys. Great week of prep, and it showed up today. And proud of our whole team. But offensively, I think we were waiting for kind of a game where we kind of, just hit the gas and we're the driving force for our team. Because Lord knows the defense has been like that for us all season long, and in many, many huge moments. And yeah.
You mentioned, did you get an explanation on the shared reception-interception?
Yeah, the reason why I challenged it is, I just saw only one hand from the receiver on the ball, and it looked like Shaq secured it first. So, that looked to me like it was not going to be a tie, goes to the receiver situation. It was a big play in the game. I thought it was worth a challenge, and I thought we had enough information to at least make them, have to take a real look at it. It was deemed to be a catch, and we moved on down the road. But I did not get an explanation.
What did you say to Kirk afterward?
I just told him, there's very few days that I get to be the coach of not only this team, but just a coach in general with my journey early on around Kirk, and then the 2 years we had together here. I just told him I'm so thankful, for our time that I had coaching him as a position coach, and then obviously as the head coach when I got here, coming up on 3 years ago. I love him. I love him as a person. I think he's a great human being, great father, great husband. He stands for so many great things that, I always really valued. And, I'm proud of the way he's transitioned down to a new place this year. And he's had a lot of success, and I think he's going to continue to do so. That's a talented team with a good quarterback and a great coaching staff, a bunch of them that I respect a ton in this league. So, yeah, it was great to see him. I didn't get a chance to see him pregame, so I wanted to make sure I got a chance to see him after there.
You mentioned today's kind of a validation for Sam of all the work he gets to put in to earn the trust of the teammates. Is there any of that for you guys, just in the sense of you do make a quarterback switch from a guy that's been here for a long time and saying, trusting yourselves that you can make this happen? Is there any part of this game that's a validation of that at all for you in front office?
No.
Okay.
I was ready for a no. It's a very